Welcome to Shield Check, a DC20 series covering class and subclass breakdowns in under 10 minutes. On this episode of Shield Check, we'll be discussing the Cleric and Cleric subclasses. Clerics have a relationship with powerful deity or deities that they are in service to. They could serve as a good god of life that grants them healing magic, or an evil god of death that grants them abilities to end life. Their combat training gives them access to light armors and light shields, as well as access to the divine spell list. This is the character progression chart for a cleric from levels 1 through 10. At level 1, the class features give access to Cleric Orator. Your deity grants you divine damage. Choose an elemental or mystical damage type. The chosen damage becomes your divine damage used for cleric features. Also, divine domain. You gain benefits from 2 divine domains of your choice from the list below. Here's an example of each one. Also, you get access to divine blessing. Spend 1 action point to pray for a blessing, choosing one option from the list below. You must spend the mana points to gain the blessing, and once during the next minute, you can apply the blessing to a spell you cast, which only applies to 1 target. The 3 options are Destruction, 1 mana point. The target takes 3 divine damage if your spell check is equal to or higher than the target's defense. If the spell doesn't normally require a spell check, then you must make one when applying this blessing. Guidance, 1 mana point. The target gains a D8 help die they can add to 1 check of their choosing within the next minute. Restoration, 1 mana point. The target regains 3 health points. For unused blessings, you can only have 1 blessing at a time. If you say another prayer, it replaces the previous blessing. If the blessing ends without granting any benefits, you regain the mana points spent. Also, you get access to the flavor feature, Divine Omen. Once per long rest, you can spend 10 minutes to commune with your deity. At level 2, our class features give us access to Channel Divinity. You gain the ability to direct the power of your deity once per short rest. You can choose one of the following. Divine Rebuke. Spend 2 action points to censor all creatures of your choice who can see or hear you within 5 spaces. Make a spell check against each target's defense, and each target makes a repeated mental save against the save DC. If the attack hits, the target takes divine damage equal to your prime modifier. If they fail the save, the target becomes intimidated by you for 1 minute or until it takes damage again. Also, Lesser Divine Intervention. Spend 2 action points to call your deity to replenish you and your allies. Make a DC 15 spell check. On a success, regain 1 mana point and a pool of healing equal to your prime modifier. This can be used to distribute health points to any number of creatures within 5 spaces. For every success by 5, you increase the amount healed by your prime modifier. On a failure, you only gain a pool of healing equal to your prime modifier. You also gain access to 1 talent point. At level 3, you get to choose your first cleric subclass. The first option is the Inquisitor. Should you choose this subclass, you get access to Vanquish Heresy. This gives you Iron Resolve. You have advantage on saves and checks made to resist Charmed, Intimidated, and Taunted. Rebuke Heretics. Creatures intimidated by your Divine Rebuke don't stop being intimidated if they take damage. You also gain access to a Divine Blessing, Chastise, 1 mana point. The target is branded as a heretic for 1 minute. You have advantage on insight and intimidation checks made against the creature, and you deal +1 divine damage to it with your attacks. You also get the flavor feature, Divine Interrogator. Once per long rest, you can interrogate a creature by asking it a yes or no question. It makes a charisma save against your save DC, and on a failure, the creature can't tell a lie to the question that you ask, though it can choose not to answer at all. If it does answer, it must be a yes, no, or I don't know. The other subclass option you have is the Priest. Should you choose the Priest subclass, you get access to Sanctification. This gives you Divine Barrier. When you spend mana points to heal a creature beyond their maximum health points, they gain an amount of temporary health points equal to the remaining healing. Any temporary health point gained in this way expires after 1 minute. And also, Spare the Dying. When you spend mana points to heal a creature on death's door, the health point restored is increased by an amount equal to your prime modifier. And you get access to a Channel Divinity option, Hand of Salvation. When another creature you can see within 5 spaces would be hit by an attack, you can spend 2 action points as a reaction to pull the creature to an unoccupied space within 1 space of you, provided they are willing. The attack misses and has no effect, and the creature is immune to all damage during the movement. You also get access to the flavor feature, All That Ails. You have divine guidance when attempting to learn what ails a creature. You have advantage on checks made to identify or determine the effects of a disease, poison, or curse affecting a creature. And if neither of those subclasses fit your style, you have access to the Paragon Cleric subclass. Should you choose the Paragon Cleric subclass, you get a class talent that you can use in various ways, the first of which being Expanded Order. This requires Cleric Order. You gain 2 additional divine domains. You can't choose the same option more than once. Or Bountiful Blessings. This requires Divine Blessing and level 3. When combat starts, you gain a blessing of your choice for free, and you can have 2 blessings active at the same time. You can't apply both to the same creature at once. Or Divine Cleanse. This requires Channel Divinity and level 3. This gives you Searing Grace. When a creature you can see within 10 spaces fails a save, you can spend 1 action point as a reaction to make a spell check against the effect's save DC or the opposing creature's check. On a success, the creature succeeds on their save instead. Also, Cleansing Intervention. When a creature benefits from lesser divine intervention, they are cured of 1 affliction of their choice: cursed, disease, blinded, deafened, or poisoned. The spell check you made must be higher than the DC of the effect to cure the ailment. And as always, you get the flavor feature, Jack of 1 Trade, giving you access to 1 trade point. And that wraps it up for the Cleric and Cleric subclasses. We'll catch you next time on Shield Check, and until then, keep that shield wall strong.